Hey, this is Dr. B here, and I would like to give you a little bit of assistance for performing a titration using the lab virtual system in the chemcollective. This is a lab where they're asking you to determine the concentration of an unknown strong acid. Now, the way we typically do that is to drip in a base of known concentration. The more you have to drip in, the stronger it is. C1V1 equals C2V2. The concentration of the known base, which in this case I believe we're going to use 10 molar. Now we probably should dilute that, but it seems to work okay. Times its volume, which we'll measure with the burette, this big long tube that we drip it in with. There's your two numbers, will be equal to C2V2, which means the volume of the unknown acid that you're dripping it into, and I think it's going to be 100 mils, times C2, which is that thing we want to figure out, the concentration of the unknown acid. The hardest part about doing this lab is figuring out how to make everything work. So let us begin by grabbing our unknown acid, fine, and we're going to put a burette next to it and drip in some base, but it won't change its color unless we add a little bit of phenolphthalein. This is actually how you do it in the lab. You put in just a few drops of what's called an indicator, and as soon as that stuff turns basic, it will change its pH. So let's find it. Phenolphthalein, there it is. Let's put it over it and into it and precisely transfer a half a mil. 0.5 mLs, pour it in. Notice it went from 100 to 100.5. Let's get rid of that. We don't need it anymore. Now this has a few drops of phenolphthalein in it, maybe a little excess, but enough so that it will change color. So let's get a burette in order to drip the stuff in. That's located under Other. And we need to put some sodium hydroxide in it, a nice strong base. All we happen to have, let's see, for solutions is 10 molar. Now that's crazy strong, but I'm going to go ahead and use it anyhow because I've tried it before and it works. And so I'm going to pour that in precisely. Let's pour in 50 mLs, right? Let's pour it in. And there it is. It looks like it actually poured it at, we actually have 48 mils in there. And we look at the detailed view. See how I did that? Right click, detailed view. That means we have 1 through 50. This is reading 2.0, always estimated digit. So that means we can add a whole 48 more. So write down that number for your initial value to see how much you're going to drip in. And let's drip it in. Now in practice, you got to get that thing up pretty high. So I don't need that detailed view anymore. Maybe I do. I can always go back to it. Oh, good. And so now we're going to drip it in. One nice way to do it is precisely drip in 0.1 mils at a time. And you can just keep pouring and watch. It's going down, right? Pour, 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 pour. And you can see the measuring is going down. And it keeps preventing parallax, if you will. It keeps putting it right where you need it. So just keep going, but be ready to stop as soon as the thing turns pink, right? And look, it's actually showing what the volume is. So far we've added 2.8 mils, if I'm not mistaken. Get it? But you can also do it this way. I'm going to stop when it turns pink, and I hope I don't overshoot it. You know, I gotta say, this it reminds me of the lab because you're afraid if you click too fast, you're going to overshoot it. And if you click too many times, well, you might want to start it over. Let's see if I do it right. Now, see how I'm clicking at this pace? If I go faster, I might do an extra click. Oh, I think I got it. I didn't do an extra click. All right, let's do the math. For this particular case, and nobody used this data. I want you to do it yourself. It added 8.3 mLs. So the math would be, just to help you along, C1V1 equals C2V2. 10 molar, that's my C1, times 8.3 mLs, right? That's how much base I added. That's how strong the base is. That's C1V1 equals 100 milliliters, right? That's what I used, 100 milliliters of my unknown acid times X. And that should give you the concentration of your unknown acid. I hope this helps. Send me your emails and good luck.